What's going on, guys? It's Mike, and this is the first video actually I've done in a long time. That's not actually just a gameplay. This is an unboxing. This is my, what's this? Third, I think. Maybe my second. I can't really remember. The last one I did was the Phantom Pain Collector's Edition. But anyway, that's something different. This is a little bit different for like a gaming channel. I haven't even uploaded in the past 6 months. But yeah, this is a SaberForge Disciple Champion Edition lightsaber from SaberForge, ironically. So I'm going to do it's already unboxed. I've had a play about with it. I've gave it a full charge because they do come with a small charge, but I've let it charge for the past hour, and I'm just going to run through what I think of it and where or not you'd want to get one yourself, because I see a lot of reviews online, but I didn't really see much for the Disciple because there's one called the Acolyte, which is very similar to this, but the biggest difference with the Disciple is the leather finish. So we'll get down into it. This is what comes in the box. You do get the charger, which is an American charger, but you can just buy one of those wee £2 shaver adapters and it charges perfectly fine in the UK. The belt hilt, the belt clasp for the hilt is an optional accessory. I do have one, but it's currently getting used on another lightsaber, so I just, instead of having to risk losing that one, I got a spare one. It costs like $10 extra. You've got the wee Allen key for the removal of the blade and the inclusion of there's a wee, I'll show you in a minute, there's a wee small bit of the lightsaber that comes, if you take the blade out, it creates the illusion that it's not hollow, which is really quite useful. It's also really good detail by the guys at SaberForge, and a business card and the terms and conditions of the warranty and the operating instructions for charging. Now we're going to go to the actual hilt itself, which is again a Disciple version. There is three versions, I think, of the saber. There's the Apprentice, there's the Elite, and I can't remember, I think it's Crystal or something along those lines. The Apprentice is the cheaper option. The reason I went for it was I wasn't willing to spend a lot of money on something I hadn't seen in person, so I went with the cheaper option first. After playing about this, I'm definitely going to get an Elite or a Crystal saber, but they cost about another £200 on top of everything once you add it all up. So the design I went for was the weathered finish, which I'm not too sure how good the camera's picking it up, but it's actually darker than what you see, as is the red leather. It's classed as a weathered finish, and it's a nice finish. It looks as if it's been done very professionally. It's not just a run-of-the-mill scrape down. It's all individually kind of crafted, which is really nice. The red leather, what other colour would I go for? It's they had like 20 or 30 choices of leather. There's like 5 red ones, but this is classed as medium, so it's a nice real kind of high quality leather. It's actually got good grip on it. The actual saber itself isn't really that there's not really much traction on it, so the leather gets you a bit of traction if you want to kind of do spins and stuff like that. And because of that, the main thing about this is obviously the blade as well. This is the V4 Infinity blade, which is highly durable. So it means that if you had a couple of these sabers and you wanted to duel, you can actually duel. They're fully compatible, which is really good quality. There are other saber makers out there, but they don't actually give you the kind of reliability and the durability of the blade that the guys at SaberForge do. There is a 1-year warranty on the blade, which means that if you do break it within, if you're dueling or something along those lines, like a convention's taking photographs and it cracked, as long as you provide the proof of purchase and the order number, I think, they will send you out a replacement blade, which is really good customer service, so kudos to the guy at SaberForge for that. So I suppose onto the most important thing, which is the actual brightness of the saber. SaberForge they do actually promote it on their card, the world's brightest and most durable sabers. So the average, from what I understand, the average light in a regular lightsaber is 3 watt. I mean, I actually have a Kylo Ren lightsaber. There's actually probably videos up before this one, and you can see how bright the difference is. This is a 12 watt bulb, which I'm pretty, again, they say it's the brightest light you can get in it just now. So it's a very bright blade, especially in direct sunlight. So I've seen videos online of guys outside dueling with them, and you can clearly see the red blade perfectly fine. Even the lighter colours like blue and green, they're standing out very like brightly, and you can easily make them out in direct light. So what we'll do is, obviously the blade's detached. There is the wee, I don't know if you can see it from here, there's the kind of cap in there. So what we'll do is we'll get it powered on to let you see what it's like before put the blade in. So the main thing about this one as well is the battery life. Because obviously it's a high powered light that's in it, it does drain the battery, but the good thing is if you're not using it, there's a wee kill key here which allows you to put the lightsaber into standby mode. So when you take it out,
SaberCore Crimson,
the saber becomes alive, and you can see obviously with the red light, which looks kind of orange in the camera, but it is red, and the speaker box at the back. So the kill key is very important. If you do lose it, they will you can buy them for like $5, which is really good. Again, it's all, everything you can buy with this saber, everything you get with this saber, sorry, you can buy replacements for. If you do break the blade outside of warranty, it's something like £30 for a blade, so it's not that expensive. So what we'll do is get the blade on, and we'll show you just how bright this is when you switch it on. So again, that's a 12-watt blade, and the reason I bought the Acolyte, sorry, the Disciple, I suppose the Acolyte as well, is because of this wee design here. I love that. I love the kind of chamber that shows you the light inside it, and again you can hear just how loud that is. That's a very good speaker that's in that. So fully, you know, good sound effects, good motion gesture. You can do clashing of the blades, which is really good, and you can turn it on and off with the button. And it has got, there you go, you just need to mess with it and get used to it, but it has got dueling sounds as well, so we'll turn that off for now. So again, it's a really loud sound box in it. Again, compared to my Kylo Ren, the Kylo Ren one is quite quiet, which is really surprising for a big heavy kind of grip that's on that blade. They could have probably put a better speaker in it. But what we'll do is, we're rambling on, getting quite far into it, 7 minutes already, good. What we'll do is, I'll get the blade installed, and I'll show you how the blade looks, and we'll do a final review of it. Give me 2 seconds and I'll get the blade installed. So that's the blade installed, and again, that's the wee bit there that just sits in the chamber when the blade's not attached to it. So it has got the same finish as the lightsaber hilt itself. So we'll show you what the blade looks like. The only problem I have with this is that the blade, even though it's very durable, you'll notice when I switch it on that the light only kind of goes halfway up, because the blade itself isn't actually mirrored. You can actually get companies that do blades and they're actually mirrored and they fit into this. So if you're kind of a sucker for detail like me, even though I love this blade for dueling, I'm going to get a replacement blade just for the actual light to make it look 100% as if it's hitting to the right of the edge of the tip. So I'll just switch it on for you now, and you can see just how bright this blade is when it's lit up. So you'll notice that it only kind of goes to about there, and from there on up it starts to kind of fade away. So it's not a massive difference. You can't actually see it with the naked eye, it's only through camera lenses that you can see it. So it's not a massive problem if you're just standing about, you know, if you're taking photographs and so on, it would kind of look a bit weird. But the blade itself, as I'm saying, is very high quality. So if you do want to duel with it, you don't have to worry about it breaking with it and not getting a replacement. You will get a replacement within 1 year. So overall, I love this thing. It's probably the best saber I've actually bought. The only again problem is, it's a slight problem, is the blade itself not being able to fully reflect the light. But apart from that, absolutely brilliant product. So I would definitely recommend it if you're a Star Wars fan and you like to collect lightsabers. The only thing again is that it's a very expensive product, so be prepared to spend a bit of money. But judging myself again with the actual, you know, quality of the build and comparing it to most lightsabers that are kind of more expensive than it, it is definitely the kind of best value for money you can get. So I'll put a link down in the description if you want to have a look. But again, only get these if you're prepared to spend a bit of money and have patience, because it takes about 3 months to kind of get between ordering, completion and then sent out to you. But definitely worth the wait. So thanks to the guys at SaberForge for sending me the Disciple. I'll definitely be back to buy one of the elite ones or the crystal sabers, but it probably won't be for a few months yet until I can get everything else out of the way. So thanks very much guys, and hopefully you enjoyed the video, and definitely check these guys out. See you later.